Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Dev with Excel. Alright, so in this video, we are going to be solving exercise 2.7. In the previous video, we solved exercise 2.16 and this asked us to implement the code in such a way that when there's a successful operation, such as when we add a number to an already existing number, the number gets updated, right? So in this kind of code implementation, we are expected to have a kind of notification sent to the user, as we can see here. So when you update a particular name or a particular number here, rather, right, we get this notification that this person has been updated or so. All right, so in today's video, we are going to be solving this, right? So it says open your application in two browsers. If you delete a person in browser 1 a short while before attempting to change the person's phone number in browser 2, you get the following messages. Okay, so we should get something like this saying put 404 not found, right? Now this is going to still happen even if we successfully solve this exercise, right? But what this exercise is actually asking us to do is to send a notification to the user so the user knows exactly what's happening in the background. All right, so that's exactly what we are going to be doing. All right, so let's head into the code implementation. All right, so step 12. Let's see into step 12. That's exercise 2.17. Let's run the front end, and also let's also sit into this step 12 here, and here we are going to be running the server. So both the server and the front end will be working instantaneously. All right, so um, we have this. Let's refresh this. Let's duplicate this. So here we'll be having localhost, and we want to run persons here. All right, so these are the names we currently have in persons, right? So these are the entries we currently have in the db.json, right? Okay, now this is also the front end. Okay, so we were asked to duplicate our screen in such a way that we delete one of these names here, and immediately after doing that, we try to update that name in another browser, right? We try to update the number of that name, right, in another browser, and then we should see the effect. So we are expected to get a 404 not found, right? Meaning that the entry already has been deleted from a previous browser, right? So that's what we want to implement right now. So let's do something like this. Let's duplicate this and then let's drag this out. So we have something like this and then something like this. All right, so I'm just trying to create two instances of my Edge browser here. Then I open the developers tool here. All right, so let's see what's going to happen here. Let's copy Elvis from here. So here we have Elvis, right? And then let's assume we want to change the name, the contact of Elvis. That's the number of Elvis. Let's write 87. And here we are going to delete Elvis here. Then immediately we delete this Elvis, we come here and click on add. So we are going to see the notification, the message on the console. All right, so let's delete Elvis here. Delete Elvis. Okay, Elvis is deleted here. Now let's try to change Elvis number. It says Elvis is already added to PhoneBook. Okay. All right, so here we even get error updating the number here. That's fine. But also in the console here, you can see what we have here. It says, let me just enlarge this a bit. It says put this endpoint 404 not found. So this is exactly what was given to us in the instruction here, right? And we scroll up to the instruction. So here we can see we have put this endpoint also 404 not found. But here we can see that nothing is returned to the user. The user does not know if it goes or not, but he can actually see that nothing happens here, right? So the user may be confused of what is actually going. But when we have a notification sent to the user, it makes things very easy for the user to work with, right? So let's just minimize it. So we've worked with this now. Let's just minimize it, and then let's see how we can fix all of these. All right, so let me confirm again. We are in step 12. All right, so let's load some files in step 12. I think we don't need names.jsx for now. We don't need service name.js also. We need app.jsx, very important. I don't think we need main.jsx for now, so we can just take it out. And also we should need db.json. All right, so these are the two files we should be working with in this video. So I'll simply just minimize this and then do the same here. All right, so let's have this way. Now we are going to be doing a lot of refactoring in this code because this is more like the last exercise for the phone book, right? So we are going to be doing a lot of refactoring. The first one we want to start with, let's begin with the one that deals with adding a name to the entry, I believe. Okay, here, I think this is the update, right? Okay, so let's work with this. Let's give this a descriptive notification. So it's not so cool for us to just say Dan is already added to the phone book when we want to update, right? We should give a more descriptive notification. So I think we have a notification in the instruction as well. Let's see what they gave in the instruction. Let's just follow some of what was given to us. Added. Okay, all right. So for the create person, right? This has name is successfully added, right? This is okay. Let's go to the update. The update, where is the part to update? Okay, so here I want to confirm if this name is already added, right? So here we simply just say name is already added to the phone book. Do you want to update, right? Let's write something like that. So let's say name is already added to phone book. Do you wish to update? Let's type that to the phone book. Replace the old number with a new one. So I think this is more descriptive, right? So let's save this. We don't have to go here to go and check. We believe this should work out. Okay, so one of the things we need to take away is we need to remove this notification from here. We may not have to, we may not be needing it here. Also in the person form, I don't think we need this success message as a props. Also, we need to remove this also. So we are simply commenting them. For now, we might at some point, if our code works very, very well, then we can choose to remove every of the comments we have. Okay, so let's scroll down to other areas we don't need. Okay, so here we also need to remove this success message. Since we removed it from the person from the person formed component already, so it doesn't have to come here as a props or as a value anymore. So at this point, this code may break. I don't know. Okay, so the code still works well. All right, so now let's go to where we can create our states. I think that's where we should start from. Yeah, because we have a success message and we have a set success message. Let's have an error message and also set error message, right? Because we want to deal with a success message or an error message if they happen. So if they happen, the user should see if the notification was for a success or if it was for an error. So here we could just come here and say, we can easily just come here to duplicate this, and then we come here, we say error message. Then here we could just come here and say error message. Okay, so we have these lines here. They are trying to tell us that we've declared this, but we've not used them, right? So we are going to use them very, very soon. All right, so one place we can actually set the notification component, or where we can create it, is inside this app component, right? So underneath this part here, we could just do something like this. We could just say const notification and do something like this. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to check. At first we need to give this some props, right? So let's give it two props. Let's give it one, the message props, and then two, let's call it is error. So this is going to tell if it's an error or not, right? So here we can easily just say if no message, that means if no message was actually given, right? We can just return a null, right? We return a null. So let's save this. So the next part we want to do is still inside this notification component, we are going to create a conditional statement. So we can say is error. That this means that if the notification is an error, we want to return something called error message, which is going to be referred to the class name. We are going to be implementing this very soon. So we say error message, right? Else we return the class name success message. So we can assign this to a variable name. We can call it const class name, right? Then after this, what do we want to return? We need to return something. You can easily just say return, want to return this message, right? Given the class name, if it's an error message or a success message. So we can just return the message like this. Or to make it very, very well, we can put this in a div, right? So let's just use a div and then do something like this message. Now, inside this div, we are going to be having a class name. This class name is going to be either an error message class name or a success message class name, right? So this class name is going to be conditional. So we simply just put this class name, which is this here, right? All right, so having done that, the next part we need to work on is, let me check. So we have this line. So the next part we want to work on um, this notification. All right. So we want to place this notification here. Let's copy it. And now we want to place it inside the return, right? So we want to return it. So we are simply going to come here and do something like this notification, and then use a slash and then close it. Now here, this is going to accept two props, because here when we created the notification component, we gave it two props, the message and the is error props, right? So we are simply going to come here and then do something like this. Message is equal to success message, right? Then also we say is error is equal to, let's give it a false. Then we copy this and then we paste it to create that for error message. So we do something like this, and then we simply change success message here to error message. Let's save this. Okay, so at this point the code does not break, right? Now we understand that we are dealing with update and create in this exercise, because that's what we are concerned with in this exercise. So what we can do is we need to go to the add name function and see what we can fix there. Okay, so here we have set error message. It has not been used, right? Okay, so let's see if there's anything we need to fix here. For now, let's still go on. If anything breaks, then we might have to figure it out. Let's just go on from here. Now we have the update here. If you look at this part very well, we are using the catch to handle the errors, right? And I think that's also what is expected of us to do. So what we can do here is we are going to be setting, just like we did for the create here, the set success message and the set timeout. We are going to be doing the same thing for the update also, right? So we could just come here, copy set success message and then set timeout. We copy it and then we place it after this set filtered person. I think so. I think this is where we are supposed to put it. Yes. So after doing this, what we need to fix now is, for the update, what we need to put here is not return person's name, return person dot name. We need to put in, let's see where we use the map here. We need to put in the updated person. So here we simply just copy this updated person here and then place it here. And then we give it a more descriptive notification. So we say this person is or has been updated successfully. Has been updated successfully. So let's take this added. So we are gradually refactoring our code, right? Then after this is done, for it to disappear, we set the success message to an empty string. That's after 4 seconds. And that's the purpose of using this set timeout, right? So let's save this. All right, so I think we've done that for the update. And at some point, we are still going to use the error message. Yes. I think that's going to be used inside this catch, right? So using the error message inside the catch, that's if it's not successful, we need to catch the error. And the error message is going to be gotten from the error, right? So what we can do here is we can still leave this here. We can choose to remove the alert here, or we can choose to leave it here. Let's just comment it. And then underneath this part here, let's say we want to set the error message now, right? So we say set error message. And then what we want to give it is we want to say information, then the person's name. has already been removed from the server, right? So we could just do something like this, just say information, and do something like this, and then say the person's name whose number we are trying to change has already been removed from the server. So how can we do this? Using the dollar sign, that's the template string, right? We are going to be calling the existing person. Where do we have it? In the updates. Okay, so here we have it as name exists. So name exists dot name, right? So we say has already been removed from the server. Let's save this. So now we've worked for the error message and for the success message for the update function. And then to make this disappear, we are simply going to use a set timeout. So we can just copy this and then paste it here. And then we are going to change the set success message to set error message. So we copy that and we paste it here. Let's save this. This breaks. What's wrong? Something went wrong. I think we didn't place this in the right position we are supposed to place it. Let's do something like this. Okay, let's just revert back to the working code. Okay, so underneath this set error message, you are supposed to create this set timeout. Let's see if we can paste it here. Oh, okay, let's copy this again. Let's copy this again. I think I actually made the mistake of copying this part too. So let's copy what we have and then let's paste it here. Let's save this first. Okay, so that works, right? So let's simply copy this set error message and then paste it here, right? So that works now. So when this displayed, the next thing after 4 seconds is this becomes an empty string. That means it disappears. And then we have this, right? Okay, so that's for the update. Let's see if that works. Let's even test our code at this point. All right, so let's test our code at this point. So what we can do here is let's try to delete another name. Let's say we want to delete James. So let's just type James here. And then we have James deleted. Okay. And then here we want to add James with a different number. So we say add. It says James is already added to the phone book. Replace the old number with the new one. Okay. So it's now telling us that information James has already been removed from the server, and then it goes. Wow. So that actually works. That works fine. The next thing we need to do is, do we have any other thing to do? Let's check if we need to do that for the create as well. If there's any error messages to be displayed for the create. Let's be sure. So I don't think we need to set that for the create, right? If the create doesn't work out fine, then we console log the error message. Or we could just also just use the set success message and then pass in what we need to pass in. But I don't think that was part of the instruction. So let's just do things based on the instruction given to us for now. All right, so I think our code works well at this point. Let's try again. Let's refresh. Let's try to delete. Okay, so let's try to delete Danny 654. Okay, yes. So This works well. Let's see if we can filter red. RE. Yes, that works. Let's see if we can add a new name. Let's add James back to the entry. James 1, 2. Let's add. James is successfully added. All right. So we have a notification for a created entry. Okay, so let's also go back to the instruction and see if we are missing anything. It says if you delete a person in browser 1, a short while before attempting to change the person's phone number in browser 2, we get the following message. Yes, we've already tried this. So it's asked us to modify the example such that the user is shown a message when the operation does not succeed. Yes, so we have this already. So I think with this, we've been able to successfully implement the code for exercise 2.17, right? Yes. So I hope you found this helpful, right? So see you in the next video. Bye.